The Happy Mondays were a 24-hour party band, a perfect fit for the new scene, but not for a serious arty label like Factory. No one seemed brave enough to take them on.
We'd get A&R people coming down from London Records and other record companies speak to us, and we'd, and they'd go like, okay, but the band's got no image. We need an image for the band, they're just like, they're just wearing trainers and jeans and hats and t-shirts and anoraks, and there's no image. Okay, what do you want us to be like then? Well, some hair, some wimple pickers, some tight kecks, some makeup. Right, okay, like everyone else. Right, all right.
The Mondays lacked Factory's trademark angst and pretension, but Pickering suggested that the label should sign them anyway. Wilson agreed. He now had a genuinely street-smart, unruly gang with guitars to help realise his vision.
In the north, we'd play like working men's clubs, but not on a working men's club's night. It'd be like the son who'd gone to university. I'm putting a night on tonight, and just simply because we were on Factory, we got the gig. And normally, as soon as they'd seen us, they would have dismissed us. But one because on Factory, they're like, well, we'll see. There must be something about him because Tony's, signed him.
It was so non-typical Factory, it wasn't what it was assumed Factory did, and it was finally a sudden burst of non-Factory life, that seemed to fit with the times, and then gave the Hacienda its own sense that Factory did know what they were doing. Because of course the Hacienda wouldn't have made as much sense if they hadn't had the Happy Mondays. It kind of worked together, the two things worked together.
Wilson championed Happy Mondays as the people's band, with the help of a promotions budget unprecedented at Factory. Now managed by one of his close friends, Nathan McGough, the band was beginning to enjoy both critical and financial success.
They were every band in Manchester's favourite band. That's what they had. They had something that all the bands knew, like, wish we could be like them. Wish we could be like them. And, the songs didn't have, like, obvious songs or catchy stuff, but they just had this gang mentality, and Sean doing his do, and it just connected with people.
No one gives them the proper credit, but the fact that they're the ones who took the new black rhythms out of America and adapted them to modern music, to modern British music.
At the time, personally, I didn't want to play gigs. I was really happy just with me and my friends jamming in a room. I didn't want to make a record. I really didn't. Obviously, one has to evolve. If one's going to make something of something, one has to do these sort of things.
He's a spokesman of his generation, and he'll hate anybody for saying that, because it's Manchester. People don't like that kind of crap up here, people want to debunk the myth all the time. It's like, but the lyrics he was singing directly communicate with our audience.
I had a little wish list, and like to do a demo. Tick that off. Next one was to get a record deal, tick that off, and down the list was do Top of the Pops.
Thanks very much, Jackie. Now for a band that's come all the way from Manchester. They're called Happy Monday, featuring a very special guest, Kirsty MacColl. The song's Alleluia, and it's number 30.
Another Manchester band also appeared on the show for the first time that night. A band Factory failed to sign. A band that was gonna be big.
Stone Roses, managed from a very early day by the ex-manager of Hacienda, who I thought, I'm sorry, it's Ginger, as you know, I think you're an idiot. Secondly, managed by my first wife. Thirdly, managed by my ex-partner, Martin Hannett, and somebody else. So everybody involved with this group, the Stone fucking Roses, was my ex-partner. So I wanted nothing to do with the Roses. We now remember the Stone Roses, quite rightly, for things like Fool's Gold, which is the rolling acid house rhythm that the Mondays invented 6 months before.
I mean, I think Factory's fantastic because out of it, by not signing Buzzcocks, Magazine, The Fall, The Smiths, Stone Roses, not signing those 5 bands and still being the label it is, that to me is almost the essence of the story.
Happy Mondays come from Little Alton. I had a single out this past week, they have an album out in a fortnight. I work with them, but this isn't nepotism, it is a profound devotion to the cause.
1988, the second summer of love. The Happy Mondays and the Stone Roses rule the world, and Manchester has become Madchester. At the Hacienda, business is booming, courtesy of Acid House and Ecstasy, the clubber's disco biscuit.
It had its own little fanzine going on in the queue, people running up and down the queue, I've got the besties, no, I've got the besties, like fucking market stalls set up. That was all that was missing, was someone setting a market stall up outside the queue. There was a whole scene going on in the queue.
You go to a club, take this pill, and you'd have like 6 hours of like amazing fun, and that's why that worked, and it was the best known space for it. Everyone just poured in.
What do you think about the drug Ecstasy?
Brilliant.
And suddenly it had this incredible atmosphere. So where else had been the year before been this really freezing cold place with water dripping from the roof? Suddenly it's like the hottest place you've ever been in, absolutely packed. People just dancing on the walls, swinging from the roof. You see the pictures of it now, it's insane. You can't even work out what the floor is, and that's what it's like at the time.
All these faces off their heads, dancing. But some of them might have just been high off the music, it was a small percentage, but there could have been. But it was just like nothing else most people had seen.
Manchester's always been a party city. It's been a party city for centuries. It's been famous for people having it large at the weekends and wanting to have a good time.
It felt like it was the most popular place in the world.
We had a bit by the far corner of the bar where we'd stand, and to get there you just have to walk through this sea of people having the time of their lives. Whatever it costs, it gives a fuck, it was great.
People looked up to the DJ like a god, and begging them at the end to really please play one more tune. I mean, please, I shouted many a night, please, just play one more, and get the crowd saying one more.
The fact that suddenly this youth culture exploded on our dance floor was a real privilege. Of course, as soon as it exploded and we made some money, then we'd have a meeting to say, at last we're making money, after many, many years of throwing money into it. And someone would go, oh, if we're making money, I'll tell you what, it's not going to last long, is it?
What was now the most famous club in the world also claimed Britain's first dance floor death from ecstasy in 1989. While the party continued undeterred, the Mondays Sean Ryder and later his brother Paul got addicted to heroin.
As soon as you wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, I need to get some drugs. Okay, I've got the drugs. Okay, right, I've had them, I need to get some more. Okay, I've got some more, I've had them. Right, what do I do? I need to get some more. You know, and then it's time to fall asleep. And then you wake up in the morning, it's like, I need to get some heroin. Okay, I need to get some money first to get some heroin. Okay, I got my heroin. Okay, I've done it, what do we do now? I'll go and get some more. You know, it's And that's what it does. You know, you just left to doing that in a fucking circle for however many years you're going to do it for.
New Order were also trapped in a cycle of their own making. They were still co-financing the Hacienda with their increasing success, both here and abroad. Returning from a sellout American tour in 1988, they were drawn into Factory's new ambitious plans for the club and for New Order's profits.
You're not going to believe this. The building's just come on the market. The building's come on. No, don't. And I think we should buy the building. No, please, God, no, don't buy it. Andy's at work. I'll take them next door and see what they think. What do you think, Steve? No, don't buy the building. Gillian, don't buy the building. Okay, yeah, all right. Bernard, yeah, it sounds good to me. Right, we're buying the fucking building, then. Building equals American soul. Right, okay.
New Order increasingly found themselves working to keep the club afloat. Despite the crowds, Factory seemed unable to hold on to any profit, lurching from one financial crisis to another.
We need 100 grand by tomorrow, right? Our factory go, we'll put 50 grand in, and you put 50 grand in. We go, what happens if we don't? And they go, you'll lose 200 grand. And we go, all right, the sums make sense. But the 50 grand that they were putting in was 50 grand of money that, from our royalties, that hadn't been paid to us.
You would have to say that people didn't tell us how much of our money they were putting in. And when we found out, of course you went berserk, but you were too far in to get out.
And Cookie's great theory is if we gave everyone who came to the Hacienda 50 quid and told them to fuck off, we'd never have opened the Hacienda. I mean, Hookie one day will accept that it was worthwhile. Barney, maybe never.
I was a musician, you know, and I remember going to a meeting and being told that three of our bouncers were wanted for armed robbery. They're working for us. Like, why have we got bouncers that are wanted for armed robbery? Because you've got the people coming in with guns.
Manchester had become Gunchester. Gangs were at war over the drug market, and one of the biggest outlets was down at the Hacienda.
With drugs, you get gangs. With drugs, you get gangsters. That's what it is. There's millions of pounds to be made on the drugs. People, I mean, you don't buy them in a corner shop. They're all illicit the way they're coming in. Something that's worth millions, and when it's worth millions, other people are going to get interested, aren't they? Different kind of businessmen will get interested in this kind of transaction, and then they'll start fighting over it, and that's what started to happen.
When we were supposed to go there for some factory owed us some money for royalties, and we had to go to the Hacienda and going to give us the money there. And it turned out they'd been robbed the night before, and it had all gone. The manager was tied up in the office.
Temporarily defeated, Factory was forced to close the Hacienda on the 30th of January 1991.
It is with the greatest reluctance that for the moment we are turning the lights out on what is, for us, a most important place. We are forced into taking this drastic action in order to protect our employees, our members, and all our clients.
The club was refitted with metal detectors, surveillance cameras, and increased security. It reopened 5 months later, but trouble kicked off almost immediately.
There's some minor incident, and all of a sudden